Hi, I'm Coach Hallis, and welcome to episode 27 of the Keeping It Real vlog. This is quarter 3, week 7. I got a new student yesterday. This is the 7th week of an 18-week semester, probably 17 weeks because seniors get out a week early. It's the 7th week of a 9-week quarter, and I got a student yesterday who was taking a test that she has to take all day today. So I will have her for 2 weeks and 1 day of this quarter. So that's a challenge. That again, if you were teaching in the style of just giving kids packets or having them just read these chapters in the book that you missed, fill out these worksheets. It's a lot more simple to get a student caught up that way. When you have meaningful, authentic, real-world projects that you're working on, it's a little bit trickier. How do you bring this person in to a situation when people have been working on these things for 6 weeks now and say, hey, jump on in, be a part of that? Well, my solution in this case was to add her to the group that was the farthest behind, being that they are the farthest behind because of attendance reasons, that she has the most opportunity to get things done. We'll figure out how to proportionately make the grade situation as equitable as possible, but yeah, that's fun. New student that has to get ingratiated into the class and find a place in the dynamics of the work. I've also assigned her to primarily take on this writing component that her group has been struggling with, and she's already contributed. So that helps a lot when someone is at least willing to do their part, and that's one way of getting yourself accepted into your group. So there's that. Couple quick things that I haven't talked about before is just a management standpoint for physical projects like this. At a secondary level, especially if you have several classes, like most secondary classes are going to be, you're going to be teaching like 3 or maybe even 5 or 6 other classes. If you have a designated area for each group's stuff to be, that helps a lot. In the makerspace, we have areas where they're working on their dog houses. And if I had 3 classes of this, I would need to have those spread out even more carefully. But we also have just like a box that used to have copier paper in it for each student group to have their stuff. So here are the screws that you're going to need. Here's the square. Here's the tools. Here's your utility knife. Each group has a designated box of stuff, which is extremely helpful, just to make sure that they can always put stuff in there. You're in the middle of something and you've got this paint. Well, just put it in your box. It'll be there, or make sure that your tool is in your box. So that helps. Simple little things like keeping a designated location and a designated box of tools so that groups can throw stuff in there and get stuff out. Another thing is, I talked before about the mini project and how I actually did 2 exemplars. One when I first did the project myself, and another as I was going through it so that I could show the students step by step on their mini project how to do it. And I just wanted to mention doing the same thing with the full-scale model to help them go through each transition. I'm also building a full-scale model, a full-scale doghouse along with theirs so that they can frequently see, okay, this is how we do this step. I don't have to go in and demonstrate on their project. I can just demonstrate on mine, and they can follow along and watch. And even if they're not caught up with that step yet, they can still see it as I'm working on it on mine. So there's that. My full-scale model is nearly done. We had our first kids getting done with their initial assembly. So their sides and their front and back are painted, and it's coming together, and all they have to do is put on some felt paper and some shingles and a little bit of roofing tar, and they're going to be good to go. So we have one group that's there. My final group that I was waiting on to finish their prototype has finished that. I'm going to have some pictures up on the screen here of that. I think it looks really good. I think their final doghouse, if they can pull it together and make the improvements that they talked about making for their prototype, it might look the best out of all of them in my biased opinion. Maybe I'm a sucker for a come from behind underdog, but there's that. And I was able to get over to the animal shelter today and confer with them. They would be happy to have us come visit them in person. I think I mentioned that in the last vlog that my students requested, hey, instead of them coming to us and picking these up, can we go there and take them to them? And I'm working on making that happen. So I put in a field trip request form. I've already gotten permission from the principal. I got permission from the shelter staff. So it's just a matter of logistics. I'm going to see if we can get someone else, one of our interns, to drive a liftgate truck with these 6 dog houses on it as we transport them over there. I think we're going to be able to make it happen. So in a couple of weeks, the exhibition has been moved from the 10th to the 11th, and we're going to be taking it there. It's going to be like a field trip type exhibition rather than something where they're coming to us. So as long as all those pieces fall together, that's what's going to happen, and that's where we are as of the end of week 7.